I've said it before and I'll say it again. We live in a nightmarish hellscape of streaming services, and it's only going to get worse. What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Meek, the Uber Geek. Welcome to Pretty Dece, your daily entertainment and pop culture show. And yes, the landscape of streaming services continues to worsen as WarnerMedia, Warner Brothers, is looking to get into this already impossibly crowded market with a new streaming service that's coming by the end of 2019. AT&T, who now owns Warner, announced this streaming service this week. And hilariously, it's already way too complicated and it doesn't even exist yet. It'll feature 3 different tiers of service. So it's not just a pay and you're in, you have to decide what level of service to the WarnerMedia streaming service that you want to be involved in. There will be a free or cheap tier that is very entry level and has movies of some sort. There will be a premium channel that has original programming and blockbuster movies, which is apparently different than the original movies there. And then, of course, there's the Ultimate Bundle, which bundles up those first 2, which apparently don't overlap, and then also includes an extensive library, that's their word, of Warner Media content and licensed content. Look, I don't know if I want your service or not. Spoiler alert, I probably don't. But I certainly don't want to expend the extra brain power of trying to analyze the spreadsheet to determine which shows I want to watch on which tier and what has what. If I have to do all that, I'm just not going to buy it. And I think that's the thing that most people will land on. Warner is cool. There's lots of movies and TV shows that I'm sure that we all like that are under the very large Warner umbrella. But, it's not really top tier, right? Like, I can probably live without having a subscription to Warner. But who knows? They might be able to talk some people into that. Of course, Disney is also getting into the streaming service game next year. We've talked about that many times here on Pretty Dece. They are starting what's called Disney Plus. It now has an official name. And because of that, Netflix is slowly killing off all of the Marvel-based shows that it currently has. So Daredevil just recently got the axe and got officially canceled. The only one that isn't is Jessica Jones so far, but it probably won't be around for too much longer. Netflix says these shows are going to remain on the service, but we're of course not going to see any more seasons of the ones that they have canceled. This is because Disney has major plans for this streaming service that they're coming out with, and will be producing their own content for their streaming service. And they are doing a lot of stuff. They're doing many original and exclusive Star Wars movies and TV shows. Captain Marvel is the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that will be streamed exclusively on their new Disney Plus platform, and then all the movies, of course, going forward. They're making a reboot of High Fidelity, they're making a new Monsters, Inc., they're making a new High School Musical series, they're making an original TV series starring Tom Hiddleston as Loki from the Marvel movies. They're even remaking classic films like The Parent Trap and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. There's a lot going on. They're going to split all this out into separate mini hubs for Pixar and Marvel and Star Wars and so on. And supposedly it's all going to cost $8 to $14 per month. So a full-on Netflix-sized purchase. Sadly, the service does seem like the one that's going to entice the most people. It's got Disney, it's got Pixar, it's got Marvel, it's got things that people really love and are massive fans of. But as we've talked about before, enough is enough when it comes to streaming services. As these services splinter off and more of them pop up, by their very nature, each one gets more and more diluted. In order for this Netflix split from Disney, in order for this Disney service to get populated, Netflix is losing these Marvel movie films. They are stopping producing these really awesome original series based on Marvel characters. So the value for your dollar continues to go down as more of these companies spread out and create their own services. We've seen that with DC Universe. We are seeing that with Disney. We're seeing that with Warner now. and the value that you got before is going to be continue to get less and less, and that's really a bummer as a consumer. At this point, I'd honestly rather just purchase streaming passes to specific shows that I know that I want to watch. That removes the discovery aspect that I have now when I browse Netflix and I might see a cool title or read a cool description, or just sit down on my couch and not know what I want to watch and find something on the service. But if we're already getting piecemealed out anyway and these services are getting broken out to death, I might as well only pay for what I truly want to watch. So that's going to do it for Pretty Dece for today. Thank you very much for joining me while I complain again and again about these continued streaming services that keep popping up. If you want to support Pretty Dece, you can do so. Visit prettydeceshow.com/listener support to find out those details. Of course, download the podcast wherever you download your podcasts from. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Play, we're on Spotify, we're even on your Google Home if you have one, or you can hear us from your Google Assistant. Just set it up in your app. And of course, you can watch the video version on YouTube. Just visit youtube.com/prettydece to find the channel. And finally, hit me up on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram @PrettyDeceShow.